Agenda, we will go through just a short introduction. One is an eSIM, the two main models that is active today, the M2M and consumer, a little bit about barriers, and then where we're coming in on consumer IoT, how to bridge this, and also how we see this market on the growth and how that's coming along in everything that's happening around us, especially this year. But we have been in this business, or I have been in this business for a very long time. So my name is Fredric Liljeström. I'm not Malaysian, as you can see on both my spelling, which is actually wrong here. But I'm Swedish from birth. So I'm in Asia for the moment. I've been here for quite some time, 8 years now. So the growth of connected devices and growth of eSIM in general have been in the eSIM business since 2017. So for us, it's not a surprise, and we have seen why this is being slow. We see for the normal consumer out there, this is a little bit of a different way, because it's a great tool for with the technical advance that is good for both device manufacturers, but it's scaring the mobile operators, and it's scaring the technologies, and everything is going in the correct direction. So there is no stopping this. So what is then an eSIM? The role of the eSIM, or the SIM per se, is no different from a normal plastic SIM card. It's just that it's divided nowadays. The combination of an eSIM profile and a secure element in a device, the combination of those two is still exactly the same as a plastic SIM card. However, for a mobile operator, there is much easier to identify an EID or the SIM card, the EUICC that's called today, from a plastic SIM card. You get more information from it, but the EUICC, the actual hardware of an embedded SIM, is provided by the device manufacturer, meaning Samsung or Apple, or an IoT and M2M device. It can be a car, truck, or a Wi-Fi device that is connected over 4G or 5G networks. That hardware, that secure element, needs to be there, and that's called the EUICC, meaning that it's an embedded UIC. eSIM is called embedded SIM card, but the SIM card is not embedded. That's just a profile. The secure element is embedded. So this is where it starts getting confusion for people, and where you need to be thinking in a different way, because it's basically just another form factor. It's a plastic SIM card if that's a MFF2 or a 2FF or whatever we should call the different form factors, it's still the same. For the mobile operator, when these two parts are combined together, meaning the secure element in the phone and the ICC ID profile, then the mobile operator can actually not see any difference between a phone with what's called an eSIM or a phone with a plastic traditional SIM card. There is no difference. For the mobile network, it works exactly the same. But from the devices and the platform that we provide from 10T, then you can actually get more information. You can have a comparison. So if you take a SIM card today and you just slide that into the SIM card, slide it into the phone, immediately when that happens, the mobile operator, someone is trying to connect to the network with this type of ICC ID, or want to activate to download a specific environment into the phone for them to optimize on the network side and stuff like that. So for this device management system, then the information that we have of the eSIM platforms is very, very useful, especially when it comes to IoT. So there is M2M model and the consumer model. What you see with Apple and Samsung and these is of course the consumer model. And we have a lot more volume on that than we have on the M2M today. Basically every single Apple and XR have been able to download eSIM profiles, and of course there is a lot of volumes of eSIM out there, but the penetration to consumer is basically the same. The volume is not consumer and the M2M, is that the consumer is pulling down a profile down to the phone, while the M2M is pushing down an eSIM profile to the device. So the M2M is a remote, while consumer. Then of course there is a bunch of different things in the background on how it's actually run and these things, but to see is still the same. And the certificate issuer is also common. Mainly because the MNOs, the mobile network operators, is very afraid of eSIM, because it's the plastic SIM card or the SIM card is the last hardware that they actually provide to mobile operators. They don't really know how to handle this with sending QR code or having a fully digital customer onboarding, because they want to see their customer coming into the stores or to the dealer, and they are very, very dependent on the dealer and the dealer networks, which is a little bit strange, because mobile operator, I would say that they would like to get away from dealers, especially external dealers. Because as you all know, a dealer is calling up a mobile customer and saying, do you want to have this new with T-Mobile or AT&T or whatever that might be? And when they have signed up a deal, and they go over to T-Mobile. So they are super scared of from the commercial part, there is a key barrier on the consumer model. Thales and G&D and these guys, they normally sell this as a way to acquire customers in a different way, or have a lot of difficulties. You have cellular only, for example, which means something to a phone. You need to have a bootstrap operator, and that's you would like to have an eSIM in M2M, machine to machine, right? That you want to choose the mobile operator. Initial demand to actually get an eSIM into an M2M device is that you need to have a bootstrap mobile operator. Then you still need to choose the mobile operator before you even put the eSIM into an M2M device. So solution, what you want to have solved with an eSIM, the mobile, if you want to provide an eSIM for the devices. It can be a heart monitor controlling or a device that's controlling pacemaker and downloaded for that. You have to go in and do some other maneuvers to get the initial. Look at either M2M eSIM device, we still need to have connectivity from the beginning, or you can go in and you connect and download your eSIM profile. The LPA, one kind of IP connectivity. It can be a cable at the LPA, the interface, to download the profile to the device, a profile eSIM into the consumer IoT space, a volume based in a different way. So we have, from TANT, we have a number of pilot projects to Then, of course, to bridge these use cases, select the best data plans for international, add personal health device to existing carrier subscription, consumer world in a different way. And of course, it also creates a stickiness for the mobile and just share the bucket of data that they have. So a higher flexibility for them. The lowest down here is an electrical meter, for example. Then they can select the different, maybe price, maybe which one you prefer, maybe with meter. Then you need to choose the one that has the best signal for that specific location. Not going to move. So then that opens up a time to actually activate that needs to be. And at the growth, 30%, then 5% of the eSIM is with the fairly low penetration of eSIM. We do see now with eSIM only devices coming into the market that this is coming hard. And also that we see that only a couple of hundred mobile operators globally that actually have eSIM capabilities. While we are happy with the increase of traffic, but we are expecting much more coming along for this. To support eSIM only devices, of course, that will be a bigger unit also. We do see this a lot. And be opening up for questions.
Excellent, thank you so much, Fred. Any questions for Fred? I've got a quick one, Fred. Oh, are you there? Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
This is just a personal one. You know, when I look at eSIM, the roaming case for me is the most interesting. But you know, there's just, again, it comes back to the point you were making before in terms of barriers. Because it's, you know, I don't want to use my carrier's plan because I'm roaming into another country, and I'm going to be using a lot of data. For those consumer scenarios.
Yeah, no, I mean, I see that super interesting because this whole business opens up a brand new way of doing business. For example, we are providing services to one of our providers is low cost flight to have the insurance when you go travel. The same way they can do. So while you're going on vacation, you scan your flight ticket and you get an eSIM profile for the period of time that you're abroad. And then when you go back, you're back on your own, because it's always better to be local.
Yep.
The connectivity is local. The endpoint, or the IP endpoint is local. You're going straight out. If you are a US citizen and you're going to Philippines, the traffic is actually going all the way to US and then out during that. Right. So I mean, we all know, and you know that's in the business, you know that you don't want to have all of that travel back and forth, away, around. You want to get out as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So local is the absolute best, right?
Yep.
And especially when we come to 5G, right? When you start measuring 5G, you have the actual latency in 5G is measured in nanoseconds. You don't want to travel around the world first and then come out, because you will just lose everything. So local termination is always the best, and you can only get that with a local connectivity. So then that's where you want to be. You have a bunch of different services. You have Aveiro today, you have Flexiroam, you have a number of these apps that's coming down that you just activate and buy your connectivity for that you are on vacation, for example.
Excellent.
Of course, if you go to your European customer, then there is no rule. But it is still, you might want to be local breakup just because of the speed.
Yeah.
So it's always that part. So that's, I see, yes, the roaming is one part, but it's also speed to get out. And that part, not only.
Anything else for Fred? If not, again, Fred, thank you so much. That was great. Thanks for joining us.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks.